So here I am today, once again, feeling very excited to share three unexpected ways to pair your clothes, right? So here's the thing. I'm talking to you, I'm chatting with some of you in the DMs, we're getting on calls, and I'm getting the message loud and clear that you're feeling bored with your clothes, whether you feel like you don't have the right things or you feel like you don't know how to put what you do have to good use, right? You don't really know how to make good outfits. Maybe you're just sick of it all. Maybe it doesn't feel like you anymore. Maybe it doesn't fit you very well, right? So you're just kind of bored. So that's why I'm going to share some unexpected ways for you to work with your clothing, right? Because here's the thing: the best outfits come together from unexpected pairings. It's always when it just sort of happens and it wasn't exactly maybe planned, and it's not what, well, this is my favorite. It's not what everyone else is doing. That is so important to me. I love to have, for my style, I like to be original. I like to be one of a kind. I realize not everybody cares about that, but I do think bringing in something unexpected can make your style feel more dynamic, whether you want to stand out and have people notice you, or if you just want to look really pulled together. An unexpected element by bringing things that other people may not normally do, it really helps to up level your styling skills. All right. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. And I see we've got Sarah here and we've got Donna joining us live. Hello and welcome. All right, so talking about adding unexpected elements to your outfit, we need to talk about the sweet and salty technique, okay? Because that is this technique that I've created, and that is about creating a dynamic balance with your clothing, right? It's about playing with opposition, okay? So giving your clothes, when you're picking out your outfits, it's about, giving them attributes and then coming up with something that is the opposite. So for example, maybe you play with masculine and feminine, or maybe you would play with classic and trendy, or maybe you would play with loose and fitted, right? I was just working with a client earlier this week, and she has a lot of really beautiful upscale clothing that she feels kind of intimidated to wear for her regular life. So that's when we started talking about this high and low concept, right? So that's like dressier with more casual, right? Or high end with more mainstream, right? So it's just about finding a dynamic opposition in the clothes you have. So with my client, I introduced her to this idea, and to help explain it to her, I said, you remember when there was that Oscars, the Academy Awards? This was so long ago, but I believe it was Sharon Stone. And she wore that Gap turtleneck. It was like a short sleeve Gap turtleneck, I think, if I remember this correctly. And then she wore it with like a really high end skirt, right? So that is a really great way to illustrate the high and low concept. But that's how you bring in unexpected elements into your clothing, is you start playing around with opposition, okay? So I am going to demonstrate, I'm going to show with some clothing that I have in my wardrobe. So I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna demonstrate and show you the clothing. And then I'm also gonna show you pictures, because I took pictures of myself in the outfits, because I just think it's way more valuable for you to actually see how it looks when it comes together. So I'm going to show you the clothes, and then I'm going to share my screen and show you a picture to really demonstrate what I'm talking about. All right. So let us get on with the first one. Okay. So the first one is over here. I have all my props over here to show you. All right. So the first one is, if you've got any crew neck sweaters, crew neck sweatshirts, anything like that, and you want to layer something underneath, instead of doing the more expected collared, like a button down collared top, or maybe you put a t-shirt underneath, okay? How about try something that has a little bit of lacy detail, all right? So this would be definitely doing some masculine and feminine here. I want you to be able to see this really well. So it has like a lacy collar to it. Because of the lighting, it's not showing up as good as I'd like it to. Anyways, it's a little bit of this Victorian thing that I have going on with this collar. My light is so bright that it's just bouncing off of the collar. So just imagine it's a lacy collar. Okay. So instead of doing like a regular button down or a t-shirt, which is what we see a lot, do something that's a little bit lacier or a little bit more feminine. Okay. I'm going to show you a picture. But another thing I want to add is that I'm so into right now, I am loving using really delicate pieces of jewelry to just kind of emphasize the collar line. So you could do something that's like this. This is just like a really thin kind of a rope chain. And then this is another one that I created. This was actually two bracelets that my grandmother, these were my grandmother's bracelet, and then they were given to me. And I never wear bracelets. That's just one of my quirks, is I never wear bracelets. But I had these two bracelets, so I clasped them together, and then I get this really beautiful, very thin chain. So I'm going to share my screen because I want you to see what that looks like with that lacy collar. Unfortunately, with my lighting, it wasn't really working that well. But here's an image of me. I'm wearing my glasses, and I'm very busy at work in my office. And so if you look closely, then you'll see I've got this very feminine lacy detail. It's almost like kind of Victorian style. And then I put that very thin chain just as a nice, pretty little accent to highlight, right? So that's one example of an unexpected element to add to your clothing. Instead of doing the traditional button-down collared shirt or a t-shirt under your crew necks, try something with a bit of a more feminine, dressy, or lacy collar. All right. So that's number one. Number two, before I get to number two, I just have to point out what I'm wearing right now, because this is also absolutely an unexpected element. My necklaces are getting all tangled over here. So I am just doing the blazer. So this is like a work blazer, very kind of classic and tailored as far as the fit. And then I just put it with my graphic tee underneath. All right. So you've got your professional blazer, and then you've got your casual graphic tee. Now I've got my beautiful day t-shirt on. It's backwards. If I don't think you can see it clearly, maybe you can. Anyhow, it says beautiful day because I am feeling the energy of a beautiful day today. I feel like it's a new day, a new beginning, and I am here for it. So anyhow, that is another example, is the blazer, classic, a little bit more polished, a little bit more professional, and then you can just put it with your casual tee. So I actually, if you see what I've got going on here, I'm just doing the jeans, even light wash jeans, which are even more casual. And then I always put the sleeves up. I like my clothes to feel as lived in and as comfortable as possible. So I'm all about, rolling the sleeves up. All right. So that actually wasn't number two. That was just, here's what I'm wearing. This is just a bonus tip for making your outfits feel a little bit more unexpected, to just do things a little bit differently, right? And another thing I need to point out is that even if these specific ideas that I'm sharing with you right now do not resonate with you, like maybe you're like, oh, I do not wear graphic tees. Oh, I don't wear those lacy Victorian things, right? That's fine. Okay. The point is that you want to start looking at your clothes. You want to start looking at your wardrobe differently. Okay. So maybe if you don't do the graphic tee, this can just open you up to thinking, well, what do I do? Right. Maybe it's just a plain tee, right? Maybe for you, that's what it is. So it's not about doing exactly what I've done here, unless that's something that really inspires you, but it's really about seeing examples of how to think differently about the way that you're normally wearing your clothes. Okay. So let's move on to number two. All right. So this one, I forgot to say something else about this. I just want to point out something kind of fun about that Victorian top, is it has this tie in the back of the shirt. So if I turn it backwards, right? So this is the front, it's just plain. And then if I turn it backwards, it just becomes this kind of interesting tie scarf situation over here. So that's another thing to just think about turning your clothes around, if that works well. I know it could get complicated and a little bit messy, but I was putting this together. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So just a new way to look at your clothes. All right. So number two is, and this also, I have two ideas in here for you as well. All right. So so the unexpected thing would be, so normally if you're going to wear a print, something like this, you probably would want to put on something solid, right? Because it would feel like, oh no, it's too much. And so that's why I'm suggesting that instead of just making it solid, why not try to mix your camo print with your floral top? Okay, so why does this work? Why do these prints look good together? Because do you notice how the shapes are very similar in the floral and in the camo? They're both round. So if ever you want to mix your prints, it's really helpful if the shapes of the prints are very similar or cohesive. Print mixing is all about finding cohesive elements. All right, so the same shape of the prints. Also, another thing that is why this works is because this is a really sparse print. You see how there's a lot of space between these flowers, so that makes it way more agreeable when you look at it. Okay, another thing that you can do that's a little bit more unexpected with your cardigan is you can wear it just as a top on its own, right? You don't have to put anything underneath. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an example, and I'm going to show you a picture of myself in this outfit over here. And if you'll look, you'll see that, first of all, you'll see that I'm experimenting with my positioning, right? Normally I just stand and I do self-timer, but I wanted to show you the prints really clearly and how cohesive it feels, right? It doesn't feel like this hodgepodge or like something chaotic, right? It goes together very nicely. So this would be an example of mixing more feminine with masculine, which is something that I tend to do often. That's part of my style. I really like to do that balance, masculine with feminine. The camo would be more masculine and the floral print would be more feminine. So here is an example of how that looks. And also, if you'll notice that the cardigan, I just buttoned it up and I did not put anything underneath, okay? Sarah's commenting, I love that collar with that sweater. Great idea. Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad that you like that. All right, let us move on to our third example, okay? So again, this is gonna be two ideas in one. This one is actually a little bit more fun, all right? So the idea here is that instead of wearing your typical top and bottom or your skirt and blouse, why not take your dress over here? This is a dress. It's a really short dress, okay? So that was actually the problem with this dress is I kind of stopped wearing it because it felt really short. So it was one of those things that I was always pulling it down because it felt really short. So take your dress and wear your dress as a top, all right? So now what I do is I just pull this dress over. I pull the skirt over, and then this is a nice top. It's the colors are really pretty. It creates a monochromatic vibe, which I'm all about right now, the monochromatic vibe. I just posted on I posted on my Facebook page and also on my Instagram about the monochromatic looks of the some of the women at the inauguration yesterday. I found it to be so clean and it's such a clear and strong statement. I am a huge fan of a monochromatic look, and here it is, my interpretation of this. So you could put your dress over or pair it with your skirt. So this would be really great if you have any dresses, maybe you stopped wearing them. You would want them to be more fitted dresses. Otherwise, I think it was just going to get too bulky and too complicated. So this one, you see how fitted that is down there? So it actually works really well. So if you have any bodycon dresses, maybe from your bodycon dress days, that's really fun. Okay. Another thing that you can do with your dresses or with your skirts is, and this is for if you're in your staying home phase, is you can pair them with your soft shoes, right? With your cozy shoes, which is what I am doing here. These are the shoes that I wear a lot. These actually, we bought these for my daughter and she stopped wearing them. I was like, oh, okay, I'll take these. So super comfortable. And it's just a nice way, you got your cozy indoor soft shoes and then you feel more elevated and you feel more alive. You're wearing your outfit that helps you feel more pulled together, putting your soft cozy shoes with something like a dress and then just staying home, right? Just staying home in it. So let me just show you quickly how that looks when I pulled that whole thing together over here. Here it is. So it's the dress with the skirt on top and then the cozy shoes to finish it off. All right. So the reason that I suggest the whole cozy shoes with the dress is really just because, and this was inspired by my client who has a lot of nice clothes that she's not wearing. just start wearing them, right? Just start wearing them. They will make you feel better. And you can even wear them with your home shoes, right? You see how I'm doing that here with these fuzzy slippers, basically, is what they are. They're I think, yeah, they're UGG slippers. So they're super comfortable. And I actually love how it looks right here. And I love the way that I feel when I wear this outfit with those shoes. Okay. Super comfortable. So if you are feeling kind of stuck with what you've got in your wardrobe and you are looking for new ideas on how to mix things up, that is exactly the work that I do with my clients. Just like I was telling you with the woman I worked with earlier this week, she really needed some new ideas so that so that her wardrobe would become more accessible, right? Because it's almost like her wardrobe, everything just got kind of shut down. She just stopped wearing it because she thought like, oh, I don't have any place to wear them. But she just needed some new ideas about how to wear them, right? It's not really what you're wearing, it's how you're wearing them, how you're wearing them. And you can wear your nicer things, right? Or if that's not a situation that you're dealing with specifically, let's talk. Let's talk about what is going on with your wardrobe and why you are feeling kind of bored and maybe like you don't have the right clothes or you don't know what to do with your clothes. All right. So I'm just going to pop the link over here in the chat for you to book your complimentary call, right? It's a free call. And so you just click the link, find a time that's convenient, and then we will get on Zoom and we will focus on you and your style and how to make those improvements. Okay. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. Those are some unexpected ways to wear your wardrobe. I hope it gave you some new ideas. I'd love to hear in the comments which one of these ideas resonated with you. And if not any of the specific ideas, what did they inspire in you that makes you want to go try something new in your wardrobe, right? I want to hear about your new ideas with your wardrobe, okay? And how you're doing what you're doing to elevate and mix up your style. All right, so that's what I have for you today. I'll be back here next week with another live styling tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the group every day. And that's it. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Okay, bye.